Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about top 10 champions that has the highest single target damage skill or combo. So by combo, I mean, for example, champion like Yannicka, right? Her A2 is going to guarantee you an extra turn. So we can basically look at her A2 and A3 together as a combo. So spoiler ahead, Yannicka is going to be on the list for sure. So this top 10 list is completely based on science or mathematics. I will be evaluating every champion based on their multiplier, base attack, and affinity. There's not gonna be like, I feel this champion is better than the other one. No, this list is completely based on mathematics. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so for the number 10 on this list, it's gonna be a very old school champion. That's Rhodos. He used to be the best arena champion in this game, but he received a very big nerf. So the skill I'm talking about is this one. This actually doesn't have an insane damage multiplier. I think the initial multiplier is like 2.1 attack plus some HP. So his damage based on attack and HP together. But it ignores 60% of target defense. This is a lot. And if you guys don't know, before the Rhodos nerf, this used to be 75% of target defense. If you give Rhodos in a Savage set, it's gonna ignore 100% of target defense. It was like insanely overpowered. But right now, he received a very big nerf, like 75% and 60%. It's just huge difference. So for now, he can only be number 10 on this list because all other Knight champions on this list just hits harder than Rhodos. But he's still a very solid champion. If you guys got him, definitely build him, try him out in arena. Alright, so for the number 9, it's gonna be another super popular champion, but maybe a lot of people wouldn't consider him as a single target damage dealer. That is Dracomorph. Like, this is not hit, this doesn't hit that hard. So obviously I'm talking about his A1, which is this one. I think his A1's damage multiplier is I think it's 3.5 before book, but it can the damage will increase by 10% for each debuff. So if the target has 10 debuff, the damage is gonna increase by 100%. So this skill actually has 7 damage multiplier, and you can book this up to like 8 point something. So this is definitely one of the hardest hitting single target ability in this game, especially this is A1. That just makes Dracomorph so valuable for most players in this game. And then for the number 8, it's actually a champion that I don't have, so I can't really do the testing on him. Look at this. The Undead Horde faction. The only champion I don't have on this faction is Sato. So this is gonna be the number 8 on my list because this champion deals insane amount of damage, not just single target, AoE as well. So this skill here, I think this multiplier is a 7. It hits super hard, and it will inflict 20% more damage, and you can book it up. So it hits very hard, harder than Dracomorph's A1. So also it's an AoE, so it's a very solid champion, but unfortunately I just don't have him, so I can't really show you guys what he can do. But it's a very solid champion. Alright, so for the number 7 on this list, it's gonna be a very solid champion, but I don't see many people using him. That is a Barbarian Void Affinity Legendary. That's Turvold. So he's a very old school champion. I think he was released when the game first came out, so he's like very old school, and he deals insane amount of damage. Like these ratings, well, it's a little bit overrated because nobody really uses him, but he is very good at dealing single target damage, especially this skill here. So this one has a multiplier of 3, base multiplier of 3, but it hits 2 times, and you can book it up, and the damage will increase according to the number of buffs. If you're in Clan Boss or Doom Tower, like you will have 4 or 5 buffs on everyone, right? If you have the right champion, and this just hits super hard. Like I saw Murder Inc. once did a video using Turvold on Clan Boss, and Turvold's A3 hits like 500,000 for each hit. So this single skill can deal 1,000,000 damage. So that's how insane this champion is. And that's why, like, I probably should put him higher in this list, but other champions on this list are also so good. So I'll put him in number 7 for now. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit controversial, but anyways, let's keep going. Alright, the next champion, which is number 6 on this list, maybe it's gonna be a surprise for a lot of people because people usually don't gear him as a damage dealer, but he is very solid. He has very good damage multiplier. That is Gurgle the Augur. The skill I'm talking about is his A3 here. So I think his A3 before the book, this is a 6 damage multiplier, which hits super hard. There are not many skills in this game that has a 6 multiplier, and it's a 2 hit. So if you combine 2 hit, it's gonna be 12 damage multiplier. But the problem is, it will hit 2 times if the target has a freeze debuff. What freeze debuff does is obviously it will CC the enemy champion, but the enemy champion with a freeze will take 25% less damage. So I have to count that as well. So it's not really 12 damage multiplier. I have to reduce a portion, but that's why he's on the number 6 of this list. But again, I don't see many people build him as a damage dealer. But if you want to, you can definitely do it. Maybe just put a Torment in your team that can does freeze and just build Gurgle with pure damage. It might work. Alright, so for the number 5 on this list, it's gonna be a champion that I just did a video on last week. It's a very popular champion which everyone can get. That's Herndig. Alright, he's actually, I think he is one of the best fusion player ever done. Like, this just helps pretty much everyone that does the fusion. This champion will help your account progress 100%. So the skill I'm talking about is this A3 here. Let me take a look at his multiplier. So I think the initial hit is like a 6. So this skill is a 2 hit, right? The first attack is a single target hit. The first hit is a 6 damage multiplier, and the second AoE hit is a 4.2 multiplier. So you combine 2 together, it's like over 10 damage multiplier. So it hits super hard. The reason that I put him before Gurgle is pretty much because of the freeze. Freeze will give the enemy damage reduction. So this champion is very solid in terms of single target or AoE. Like, overall, this is like amazing champion. If you have him, definitely build him out. Alright, so for the number 4 on this list, it's gonna be Yannicka, which I just spoiled in the beginning of the video. So here she is, Yannicka. Her A2, this is a 7 multiplier skill, and it will give you an extra turn. And her A3 is a 4.2 multiplier. You combine 2 skills together, that's like over 11 damage multiplier before book. So Yannicka is definitely an amazing champion. If you don't have Tronda, Yannicka is probably the go-to option. So I think maybe I should show you guys the gear. I gear my Yannicka in a Savage set and attack or offense set. I usually don't use offense set, but I don't know why I put it on Yannicka. I don't use Yannicka right now, but I used to use her a lot. She is definitely an amazing champion, both AoE and single target. Like, I remember when I first used her in Arena, like, this skill pretty much one-shot anyone. But right now, the reaction accessory just kind of destroyed her in Arena because if this is not a crit, she's not gonna get an extra turn. So yeah, reaction accessory just kind of make Yannicka fall out of the meta, but she's still an amazing champion. Alright, so finally, it's time for the top 3. The number 3 is gonna be a Void Legendary from Demon Storm faction. That is Kutraxa. This champion just hits so freaking hard. Like, actually, I used to use her a lot in both Fire Knight and 3v3 Arena. So like, this one, let me take a look at how hard it can hit. So this one is a 6.9 damage multiplier, and this one is like 0.8 damage multiplier per hit. You combine these 4 hits, it's gonna be like 3.2 damage multiplier, and it can ignore 50% of enemy defense. So like, this combo is pretty much gonna one-shot anyone in this game. Like, it will guarantee an extra turn. It's not like Yannicka, you have to crit to get an extra turn. This skill will guarantee you an extra turn. If you use A1 and A2 on a single target, that target is pretty much dead, like 100%. Let me quickly show you guys the gear I put on Kutraxa. It's pretty much no secret, just Savage set. Where's my Kutraxa? So I think this is one I sometimes use right now. I still use her in 3v3 Arena. So like, pretty much just super high attack, very good crit rate, the good attack. You can build her with some accuracy if you can, because her A2 does require accuracy. And the funny thing is, I think Kutraxa is the first champion that I showcased on this YouTube channel. So basically, she's on my first ever raid YouTube video. So it's kind of interesting fact. Alright, so for the number 2, it's gonna be a champion that you will never think about, that I will even put it on this list. It's gonna be from a Barbarian faction. I will give you guys 3 seconds to guess who that is. That is Elder Skarg. Okay, can you imagine that? Nobody talks about this champion, but this champion actually has very good damage multiplier. I'm talking about this skill here. This is attack one enemy 3 times and place an extra hit for each buff or debuff on the target, can place up to 3 extra hit. So this is potentially a 6 hit. And before the book, this each hit has a 2 damage multiplier. So if it's a 6 hit, it's gonna be 12 damage multiplier. And look at the book. It's 5%, 10%, 15%. You combine these are 30% damage increase. So this skill after book, if it's a 6 hit, it's a 15.6 damage multiplier. It's the highest damage multiplier skill in the entire game. But it does not ignore enemy defense. That's a problem, right? That's why he's not the number 1. But this is a very solid champion. Like, I think I didn't even build him out. Like, I think I have 2 Elder Skarg. I just put some random gear on him. I don't use him anywhere in the game. Maybe after the video I will try him out. But like, he does have a very good damage multiplier. And this is like one of the hardest single target hitting skill in the entire game. Alright, so it's time to reveal the best single target damage dealing champion in this game. That is a Void Legendary from Undead Horde faction. That is Little Miss Annie. She is overall not a very solid champion, but she has insane single target damage ability. That is this one here. Like, this is the hardest hitting single target ability in the entire game. So basically, this is a 2 hit. You attack a second time if enemy has both higher defense, higher max HP. Like, she has very low base HP and very low defense. So basically, this skill is guaranteed a 2 hit. And a single hit has 5.7 damage multiplier. So after we combine 2 skill, it's 11.4 damage multiplier. And you can book it up to have 25% damage increase. And additional to that, she will ignore 25% of the enemy's of target's defense. So that's a 14.2 damage multiplier with a 25% ignore defense. That's why this is the hardest hitting single target ability in the entire game. Right now, I think the only place that I use Little Miss Annie is in Faction Wars. I used her as the lead in my Faction War team. Like, I put Savage Gear on her. Like, I don't use her in Arena, but I do see, I have fully booked this champion. I do see some people using her in Arena, and I do believe she's a very solid champion. But like, just probably not the champion for like super end game, high-end Arena. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And there's actually another champion that does a lot of single target damage on a single ability, but that ability is a little bit different. That's Jintoro. Like, his A3 has very high damage if this condition triggers, which is attack 5 times instead of 1 on every 4th use of this skill. But this condition is just too difficult. So like, that's why I decided not to put him on this list, just letting you guys know. So like, I think this list is overall accurate because it's based on facts instead of my feelings, okay? So I hope you guys agree with the list. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!